The text message glowed on my phone screen, slicing through the quiet of my Brooklyn apartment like a knife. Emma, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. We're done. My heart plummeted, the world tilting as Lily's words burned into my mind, each syllable a fresh wound. I sat frozen, staring at the phone, wondering how love could vanish in a single cold sentence. It was only yesterday that Lily and I were tangled in each other's arms, laughing over cheap wine and dreaming of a future together. We'd met 2 years ago at a Greenwich Village poetry slam, her sharp wit and electric green eyes pulling me in like a moth to a flame. I was 25, a barista with dreams of becoming a writer, scraping by in a city that chewed up dreamers like me. Lily, 27, was a graphic designer, bold and ambitious, her confidence a stark contrast to my quiet introspection. She made me feel alive, like I could conquer anything with her by my side. But now her text left me hollow, the pieces of our shared dreams scattered like ash. I reread the message, searching for clues, but it offered nothing. No explanation, no warning, just a guillotine dropping on our love. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, desperate to ask why, but pride stopped me. Instead, I tossed the phone onto the couch and paced, the hardwood floor creaking under my bare feet. The apartment, once filled with our laughter, felt like a tomb. Her scent lingered on the throw blanket we'd shared during late-night movie marathons, and her half-finished sketchbook sat on the coffee table, mocking me. The next morning, I dragged myself to the cafe where I worked, the smell of roasted coffee grounding me as I plastered on a smile for customers. My coworker, Sam, a lanky guy with a knack for reading people, noticed my red-rimmed eyes. "You okay, Emma?" he asked, wiping down the counter. I shrugged, frothing milk for a latte. "Lily broke up with me. Over text." Sam's eyes widened. "No way. You two were like the couple. What happened?" "I don't know," I admitted, my voice cracking. "She just ended it." He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You didn't hear anything? No rumors?" I shook my head, but his words planted a seed of doubt. Lily had been distant lately, her late-night client meetings stretching longer, her phone buzzing with messages she'd dismiss with a laugh. I'd trusted her, chalking it up to her demanding career, but now I wondered, was there someone else? That night I couldn't sleep. The silence of my apartment was deafening, so I grabbed my laptop and opened social media, scrolling through Lily's profiles for answers. Her Instagram was a curated gallery of her life, our life. Photos of us at Coney Island, kissing under fairy lights, her arms slung around my waist at Pride. But her recent posts were different. No trace of me. Instead, there were cryptic captions about new beginnings, and photos of her at upscale rooftop bars, places we could never afford. In one, she was laughing, her head tilted toward a woman I didn't recognize, a woman in her late 30s, dripping in designer clothes, her hand resting possessively on Lily's shoulder. My stomach churned. Who was she? I clicked through the woman's tag profile. Vanessa Carter, a high-profile art dealer in Manhattan. Her feed screamed wealth, private jets, gallery openings, champagne flutes clinking against city skylines. Comments on her posts gushed about her influence, her charisma, her generosity. A sickening realization hit me. Was Vanessa the reason Lily left me? Was she a sugar mommy? I slammed my laptop shut, my pulse racing. The idea was absurd, but it gnawed at me. Lily had always been drawn to glamour, to the idea of a life bigger than our cramped apartment and student loan bills. Had she traded our love for a shortcut to that world? I needed answers, but confronting her felt impossible. Not yet. Not until I knew the truth. The next day I called my best friend, Mia, a freelance journalist with a nose for dirt. Over coffee at a diner, I spilled everything: Lily's text, the mysterious woman, my suspicions. Mia's eyes narrowed, her reporter instincts kicking in. "Let's dig," she said, pulling out her phone. "If Vanessa's got a reputation, someone's talked about it online." We scoured X, Reddit, and gossip blogs, piecing together Vanessa's world. She was a fixture in New York's art scene, known for mentoring young artists and, according to some shadier forums, for sponsoring their lifestyles in exchange for companionship. Whispers of her lavish gifts and exclusive parties swirled, but nothing concrete. Then Mia found a deleted X post archived on a gossip site from an anonymous user claiming Vanessa had a pattern. She'd shower young women with money and attention, only to drop them when she grew bored. My hand shook as I read it. "This is her," I whispered. "This is what Lily's chasing." Mia squeezed my hand. "You don't know that for sure. Talk to her, Emma. You deserve the truth." I nodded, but fear coiled in my chest. What if the truth was worse than I imagined? Still, I couldn't let this go. I texted Lily, my fingers trembling. "We need to talk. In person." Her reply came hours later, curt and cold. "Fine. Tomorrow 7 p.m. Our spot in Washington Square Park." As I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, I replayed every moment of our relationship, searching for cracks I'd missed. The way Lily's eyes lit up when she talked about her dream life, the way she'd brush off my worries about her late nights. Had I been blind, or had she hidden it too well? Tomorrow I'd find out. But deep down, I knew this meeting would change everything. The fountain in Washington Square Park gurgled softly as I waited, my breath visible in the crisp October air. Lily was late, and every passing minute tightened the knot in my stomach. I clutched my scarf, the one she'd bought me last winter, and wondered if this was the last time I'd see her as mine. She appeared at 7:15, striding through the park's arch with that effortless confidence that had first drawn me to her. Her leather jacket gleamed under the streetlights, and her green eyes locked onto mine, unreadable. "Emma," she said, stopping a few feet away, her voice clipped. "What's this about?" I swallowed hard, my rehearsed words dissolving. "Why, Lily? Why did you end it like that? Over a text?" She sighed, crossing her arms. "I didn't want to hurt you more than I had to. It's complicated. Complicated." My voice rose, drawing glances from passers-by. "We were planning a life together, and you just walk away? Is it Vanessa?" Her eyes widened just for a second, before she masked it with a scoff. "You've been snooping." "I saw the pictures," I shot back. "You and her, all cozy at places we could never afford. Is she bankrolling you now? Is that why you left?" Lily's jaw tightened and she looked away, her silence louder than any confession. "You don't understand," she said finally. "Vanessa's helping me with my career. She's connected, Emma. She's opening doors I could never reach on my own." "And what's the price?" I asked, my voice trembling. "You're her." "What? Her girlfriend? Her pet project?" "Don't make it sound like that," she snapped, stepping closer. "You think I wanted to hurt you? I loved you, Emma. But we were stuck scraping by, dreaming of things we'd never have. Vanessa's giving me a chance to be someone." Her words stung, each one a reminder of my own insecurities. I'd always felt like I was holding her back, my barista job and unpublished manuscripts no match for her ambition. But hearing it out loud was a different kind of pain. "So you traded me for her money," I said, tears burning my eyes. "You think she loves you? She's using you, Lily. I found posts online other girls she's done this to." Lily's face hardened. "You don't know her. She's not like that. She cares about me." "Then why are you hiding it?" I pressed. "If it's so innocent, why didn't you tell me?" She didn't answer, just stared at the ground, her hands shoved in her pockets. The silence stretched, and I realized she wasn't going to fight for us. Not anymore. "I hope it's worth it," I said, my voice breaking. "I hope she's worth losing what we had." I turned to leave, but her hand caught my wrist. "Emma, wait. I didn't want it to end like this. I need this." I yanked my arm free, tears spilling down my cheeks. "You made your choice. Goodbye, Lily." Walking away felt like tearing out a piece of my heart, but I kept going, the city blurring through my tears. Back at my apartment, I collapsed onto the couch, sobbing until my chest ached. Mia came over, bringing takeout and tissues, and listened as I poured out every detail of the confrontation. "She admitted it," I said, my voice hoarse. "She's with Vanessa for the money, the connections. Everything we built, it meant nothing." Mia hugged me, her voice fierce. "You don't need her, Emma. You're enough on your own. But if Vanessa's playing her, we need to know more. For your closure and maybe to protect Lily." I nodded, wiping my eyes. Mia was right. I couldn't just let this go, not when Vanessa's shadow loomed over everything. We spent the next few hours digging deeper, finding more whispers about Vanessa's arrangements on obscure X threads and art world gossip sites. One name kept popping up. Rachel, a painter who'd been Vanessa's protégée 2 years ago. Her career had skyrocketed, then crashed when Vanessa dropped her. If anyone knew the truth, it was her. Mia tracked down Rachel's contact through a mutual friend in the art scene. The next day, we met her at a dive bar in the East Village. Rachel was in her early 30s with tired eyes and a guarded smile. Over beers, she told us her story. Vanessa had swept her off her feet, expensive dinners, gallery introductions, promises of stardom. She made me feel like I was special, Rachel said, swirling her drink. But it was a transaction. When I started asking for more commitment, transparency, she cut me off. No warning. Did she pay for things? I asked, my voice low. Rachel nodded. Everything. Rent, supplies, trips. I thought it was love, but it was control. She's got a type, young, talented, broke. She dangles the dream, and you're too dazzled to see the strings. My heart sank. This was Lily's future, and she couldn't see it. What did you do? I asked. Rachel shrugged. I moved on. But if I could go back, I'd warn everyone. She's a predator, Emma. If your ex is with her, she's in deeper than she thinks. That night I lay awake, Rachel's words echoing in my mind. I wanted to hate Lily, to let her crash and burn, but I couldn't. I still loved her despite everything. But I also knew I couldn't save her, not unless she wanted to be saved. The question was, how far was I willing to go to expose Vanessa and protect the woman who'd broken my heart? The weight of Rachel's warning pressed on me like a stone as I sat in my dimly lit apartment, the city's hum filtering through the window. I wanted to believe Lily could see through Vanessa's facade, but her ambition blinded her, and my heart ached knowing she was walking into a trap. I had to do something, not just for her, but for every woman Vanessa had used and discarded. Mia and I devised a plan. If Vanessa's pattern was real, there had to be evidence, texts, emails, something concrete. But confronting Lily again would only push her away. Instead, I decided to go straight to the source. Vanessa hosted weekly art salons at her Manhattan penthouse, exclusive events where she scouted new talent. If I could get inside, I might find proof of her schemes. Mia, with her journalist connections, scored an invite through a contact in the art world, posing as my +1. The night of the salon, I stood in front of my mirror, smoothing down a borrowed black dress that felt foreign on my skin. My hazel eyes stared back, nervous but determined. You've got this, Mia said, adjusting her blazer. We're just observing. No heroics. The penthouse was a glittering cage, marble floors, abstract sculptures, and floor-to-ceiling windows showcasing the Manhattan skyline. The room buzzed with artists, collectors, and socialites, their laughter sharp and performative. Vanessa held court near a massive canvas, her tailored suit and sleek blonde hair commanding attention. And there, beside her, was Lily, radiant in a crimson dress, her hand resting lightly on Vanessa's arm. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to focus. Mia and I mingled, blending in with the crowd. I overheard snippets of conversation praise for Vanessa's generosity, veiled comments about her close relationships with artists. Then I saw her. A young woman, maybe 22, nervously clutching a portfolio. Vanessa approached her, all smiles, offering champagne and compliments. It was like watching a script play out, the same one Rachel had described. I slipped away to the bathroom, needing a moment to breathe. As I splashed water on my face, the door opened and Lily walked in. Our eyes met in the mirror, and for a moment the world stopped. Emma, she said, her voice soft but guarded. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same, I replied, drying my hands. This isn't you, Lily. This game. You're better than this. Her lips pressed into a thin line. You don't get it. This is my chance. Vanessa believes in me. She believes in controlling you, I said, stepping closer. I talked to Rachel. She told me everything, how Vanessa builds you up, then drops you when she's done. You're not special to her, Lily. You're just the latest. Lily's face paled, but she shook her head. You're jealous. You can't stand that I'm moving on. I'm trying to save you. I snapped, my voice echoing in the tiled room. I still love you, damn it. But I won't watch you destroy yourself for her. She stared at me, her eyes glistening, but before she could respond, the door swung open and Vanessa stepped in. Her smile was icy, her gaze flicking between us. Everything okay, darling? She asked Lily, her tone possessive. Lily hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. Just catching up. Vanessa's eyes lingered on me, sharp and calculating. You must be Emma. Lily's mentioned you. Enjoy the party. She led Lily away, her hand on the small of her back, and I felt like I'd lost her all over again. But I wasn't done. Back in the main room, I noticed Vanessa's phone on a side table, momentarily unattended. My heart raced. This was my chance. I glanced around, then slipped the phone into my pocket, my hands shaking. Mia caught my eye, nodding subtly as we made our exit. At home, we hacked into the phone using a passcode Mia's tech-savvy friend had cracked from Vanessa's public social media clues, her dog's name and birth year. What we found was a goldmine. Messages to Lily promising apartments, gallery shows, and trips, all laced with suggestive undertones. There were similar threads with other women, including Rachel, each one a carbon copy of manipulation. My stomach churned, but this was the proof I needed. We can't just sit on this, Mia said, her eyes blazing. We need to expose her. But Lily, I said, my voice breaking. If we go public, it'll destroy her career. She's in too deep. Mia grabbed my shoulders. Emma, you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. But you can stop Vanessa from hurting others. And maybe, just maybe, Lily will see the truth. I nodded, tears streaming down my face. We spent the night compiling screenshots, drafting an anonymous post for an art world gossip site. But as I hovered over the submit button, doubt crept in. Was I doing this for justice or revenge? The line was blurry, and the weight of my decision pressed down on me. I thought of Lily's smile, her dreams, her betrayal. I thought of the women Vanessa had broken. And I pressed send. The post went live at 2 a.m., and by morning the art world was buzzing. X was flooded with reaction, shock, outrage, and a few skeptical dismissals. The anonymous screenshots of Vanessa's messages spread like wildfire, each one a damning piece of her manipulative puzzle. I watched it unfold from my laptop, my heart pounding with a mix of triumph and dread. I'd exposed Vanessa, but at what cost to Lily? Mia monitored the fallout, refreshing her phone every few minutes. It's working, she said, showing me a thread where artists were sharing their own stories of Vanessa's mentorship. People are coming forward. You did this, Emma. But I didn't feel like a hero. Every notification felt like a reminder of Lily's face in the bathroom, torn between defiance and doubt. I wanted to believe she'd see the truth, but what if she hated me for this? My phone buzzed with a text from her. How could you? You ruined everything. My heart sank. I typed a reply, then deleted it. What could I say? That I did it to protect her? That I still loved her? Instead, I turned off my phone and buried my face in my hands, the weight of my choice crushing me. The next day, the story hit mainstream blogs. Art Insider ran a piece titled, "The Dark Side of Manhattan's Art Elite," citing the anonymous leaks. Vanessa's name was everywhere, her reputation unraveling. But so was Lily's. She was painted as Vanessa's latest protégé, her talent overshadowed by the scandal. I wanted to reach out to apologize, but pride and pain kept me silent. Then Rachel called. Emma, you need to see this, she said, sending me a link to a live stream from a gallery opening. Vanessa was there, addressing the crowd, her face a mask of composure. These allegations are baseless, she said, her voice smooth. Jealous rivals trying to tear down my work. I've always supported young artists out of love for the craft. The crowd murmured, some nodding, others skeptical. Then Lily stepped forward, her face pale but resolute. My breath caught as she took the mic. I need to say something, she began, her voice trembling. I thought Vanessa was my mentor, my chance at a dream. But I was wrong. She used me like she used others. I'm done being her pawn. The room erupted in gasps and whispers. Vanessa's smile faltered, her eyes narrowing as Lily handed back the mic and walked off stage. I stared at the screen, tears streaming down my face. Lily had seen the truth not because of me, but because she'd finally seen Vanessa for who she was. I expected relief, but all I felt was emptiness. Lily had broken free, but our love was still shattered. I spent the next few days in a fog, avoiding social media and the cafe, where customers whispered about the scandal. Mia tried to cheer me up, dragging me to a dive bar, but even her jokes couldn't lift the weight from my chest. Then one evening there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Lily standing there, her eyes red-rimmed, her hair loose and messy. Can we talk? she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I let her in, my heart racing. We sat on the couch, the same one where we'd shared countless nights, now a battlefield of memories. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking. I was so caught up in the dream, I didn't see what I was losing. You were right about her, Emma. About everything. I wanted to scream to tell her how much she'd hurt me, but the pain in her eyes stopped me. Why didn't you trust me? I asked instead, my voice soft. I was scared, she admitted. Scared of failing, of being stuck. Vanessa made me feel like I could be more, but it was a lie. And I lost you because of it. We sat in silence, the distance between us heavy with unspoken words. I wanted to reach for her, to pull her close, but I couldn't. Not yet. I exposed her because I had to, I said finally. Not to hurt you, but to stop her. I couldn't let her keep doing this. Lily nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. I know. And I'm grateful, even if it hurts. I miss you, Emma. Those words broke something in me, but they also rebuilt something new. I didn't know if we could ever be what we were, but in that moment I saw a glimmer of hope, a chance to heal, to rebuild, not as lovers, but as two people who'd survived the same storm. The weeks that followed were a delicate dance of healing. Lily and I didn't fall back into each other's arms, but we started talking, small, tentative conversations over coffee, then longer ones about our dreams, our fears, our mistakes. The scandal had left her career bruised, but she was rebuilding, taking freelance gigs and focusing on her art without Vanessa's shadow. I too was finding my footing, pouring my pain into my writing, my manuscripts finally taking shape. One crisp November evening we walked through Central Park, the leaves crunching under our boots. The air was sharp, but the warmth between us was tentative, like a fragile flame. I don't know if I can ever make this right, Lily said, her breath visible in the cold. But I want to try. Not just for us, but for me. I need to be someone I'm proud of. I looked at her, her green eyes reflecting the city lights, and saw the woman I'd fallen for, not the one dazzled by Vanessa's promises, but the one who'd fought her way back to herself. You don't have to fix it all at once, I said, my voice soft. Just keep showing up. She smiled, a real smile, and for the first time in months, I felt hope, not for a fairy tale ending, but for something honest. We weren't together, not yet, maybe not ever. But we were here, two women who'd faced betrayal and emerged stronger. Our hearts scarred but open. The art world moved on, as it always did. Vanessa's influence waned, her gallery shows drawing smaller crowds as more women shared their stories. The exposure hadn't just been about her, it had sparked a reckoning, a call for accountability in a world built on power and privilege. I was proud of that, even if my role remained anonymous. One night, as I sat at my desk, my laptop open to a new story, I thought about what I'd learned. Love wasn't just passion or promise, it was truth, messy and painful, but worth fighting for. I'd lost Lily, then found her again, not as my girlfriend, but as someone I could forgive, someone I could root for. And in exposing Vanessa, I'd found my own strength, my own voice. I typed the final line of my story, a fictionalized version of our saga, and leaned back, a small smile tugging at my lips. The world didn't need to know my name, but it would hear my truth. And maybe, just maybe, Lily and I would write a new chapter, one built on trust, not illusions. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.